Hello, hello, hello. I'm going to wait to get some people in here first. Hey, Unique Trauma Obsessed. How's your day going? Hopefully you can't hear my AC too bad, but it's hot. Whew, I'm tired. I'm tired. But I'm a little bit early, so I had to change this a couple times. So I'm gonna wait for people to get in here before we start. I've got a couple things actually to go over. One is absolutely wild. Austin Lauer is missing. He's 12 years old. I'm really tired today too. Unique trauma obsessed. I'm not real sure why. Hey, Wolfie. Thanks. Oh, hey, Sandra. Okay. Okay, so Sandra's here. um, she is awesome, y'all, and uh I wish I had Sleuth Mom on here. I'm sorry, Unique Trauma Obsessed. Sandra is a mom of a missing boy. His name is Austin Lauer. I think I'm saying that right, Sandra. I'm sorry if I'm not saying that right. Forgive me. I want to bring up his picture now, y'all. So he is a 12-year-old boy. He is on the spectrum. When I say that his mom, Sandra, hey, Sandy, gone through the fire with Austin, she has gone through the fire with Austin. Hey, Rena, I'm glad you're here. What is happening with Sandra right now and what is happening with Austin is, in my opinion, disgusting. And that's not because of his mom. That is because this system, as we talked about yesterday, is broken. I reached out to Austin's mom last night. Hey, Rody Gale. Hey, Punk Cat. I'm glad you guys are here. It's super important live because we need to get Austin. We need to get exposure for Austin right now. Uh, Let me just tell you the story. So Sandra's on her way to get her daughter. Sandra is Austin's mom. She's given me permission to share his story. I'm hoping, let me get a big picture up here if I can. I'm not sure if it'll let me. So this is Austin right here, and I'm going to go directly from what his mom has told me. Austin is a 12-year-old boy. They live in Ohio. Let me just pull up what mom said here. Okay, so there are people by the name of, let me show you who we believe, or at least mom believes, and I trust the family, that Austin is with these people right here. I'm sorry, let me Taylor Roberts and Tyler Litz. Um, ugh. So here's the poor story about Austin, okay? I'm going to basically tell you what. So mom, Sandra, is waiting to hear back from detectives, which is wild to me because you shouldn't have to wait when your 12-year-old son is missing. She's waiting to hear back from the investigator to see if they have a warrant to go into Taylor, can get a warrant, have enough to get a warrant to go into Taylor and Tyler's home. Now, Austin is on the autism spectrum and he has several behavioral issues, right? We've talked about Kaylee Jones. It's very similar to the Kaylee Jones situation as far as, well, we just talked about it. Hey, Pamela, I'm glad you're here too. We got to get this word out here for Austin. So, he was in residential treatment for a year. Hey, Chris. Um, he became a liability for the residential treatment and was sent home. Very sad. Um, she said, Sandra, hey, Rebellious, Sandra said she wanted to make sure that she did not at all blame the facility. They did an astonishing job with him in that year. She said, Austin has always been an escape artist. Now, we talked last night. Remember, we went over statistics about how it's becoming where autistic children, about 50% of them we're finding have run away by the age of 17. And now, here comes Austin and Kaylee, similar situation on the spectrum. She said, he would say random things like he can get out of jail and stuff like that when he was a little bit younger. So Austin still has a belief that he can escape any situation. So I believe that comes with some of the naiveness, even that we saw Kaylee Jones having. And, they believe they can get out of any situation. So what happened was about 2014, Austin's mom took care of a family member over by Lorain, Ohio. I'm not probably not saying that right. It's Lorain. Um, and that is where his mom took care of this woman until she passed away. In that neighborhood, all the kids play together. Obviously, we've all been in neighborhoods like that. They all rode bikes together. They had several elderly in the area that everybody looked out for, and it's like your typical kids play with kids, all that good, riding bikes, parents look out for each other. However, when you guys hear this story, punk guy, you're not allowed to hit anything, okay? Because I almost did. Most of the families live just around the corner of the block where Austin and her daughter, she does have another daughter, hung out with different kids, different families. One of those families was Taylor Roberts' family. Her kids and Austin and his sister played together. One day, Sandra went to go get the kids, her kids, and they would not let Austin, Taylor, and Tyler, well, Taylor for sure, I'm not sure if Tyler was in the picture yet, get out of the vehicle. They threatened Sandra that if she came on the property, well, they threatened her. Keep in mind, guys, Austin and his sister are Sandra's kids. They wouldn't let Austin get out of the vehicle. Taylor. All right. Finally, Sandra threatens to call the cops, and Austin comes out. Right. This is 2014, or around that time. Sandra was in the vehicle. Okay, thank you, Sandra, for correcting that. I'm just trying to make sure I get that right. Okay, Sandra was in the vehicle. They wouldn't let Austin come out to the vehicle. That makes sense. All right. Sandra later found out that Taylor was telling him, Austin, I want to make sure I go slow with this, guys, because I want you to get the details because this case it has bothered me. I know, unique trauma obsessed. So I gotta go slow because I'm getting heated. And Sandra is Austin's mom, so be kind. Please wish her your prayers. We're gonna back her up just like we did Kaylee's mom, and we are backing up Kaylee's mom. So Taylor told Austin that his mom was a bad mom. I'm ready for this, and that she is his mama bear, and nobody can love him like her, and he can do whatever he wants in her house. That was one time last year. And that was one time. That was time one of Austin. Yep, I absolutely can. Let me get this bigger again and show you. There you go. So these two, at least I know Taylor at this point. Like I said, I'm not sure if. So that was the first time she pulled this junk. Taylor did, right? So last year, Austin was in aggressive mode, very aggressive. That led to residential treatment. Again, mom says the residential treatment did a phenomenal job with him. However, this was after, so this happened after, so there was an argument, and that's what led, because during the argument, he took off. Sandra figured he would be back, but after several hours of not being able to locate him, they ended up having to call the police, obviously, like everyone would naturally do. They found Austin because he called his sister, because he was instructed to tell mom that he was in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Now listen to this. So Austin was instructed, right? to tell them he was in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Sandra's daughter heard somebody saying Taylor's child's nickname, which is a unique nickname, so they knew where he was. Um, and they were able to then inform the detective of this. And even though Austin claimed he was in Tennessee, they met police at Taylor's house, and they were able to recover Austin. Okay, this is maddening, guys. This is not even, we're not even to the second part here. All right. Sandra requested to press charges, and they told her they could not, that she could not. At this point, Sandra and her family moved miles away to another side of the town, not even thinking about, Taylor. She was out of sight, out of mind. Really unique trauma obsessed? Okay, that would be phenomenal if I can send you. I'm going to post these pictures on my community post. If you could blast this out there, that would be amazing. Um, so they moved miles away, out of town, not even thinking about her. She was out of sight, out of mind for us until this situation. This is time two. While Austin was inpatient residential treatment, he broke out twice, two times, y'all, two times in an attempt to see Taylor and meet up with her. And once on a home pass, he had snuck out onto a phone and contacted her in an attempt to sneak out to meet her. Poor Sandra, this is mom, and this is me saying poor Sandra because as a mother, I can't even imagine this. She found him, all this part, I just feel so bad for her. She found him at a local McDonald's with no shoes on in the middle of the night. After Austin had then, because at that point, residential treatment, they can only go to a certain, again, mom thinks they did a phenomenal job, so let's give them credit. But so they had to send him back home. But I will say, y'all, again, what do I always say? The mental health system is broken. They had to send him back home because they couldn't keep him. He was he was escaping. Um, he was taking meds and not. He is on medication. Was not giving Sandra much grief about helping with chores, which is awesome. So it does sound like the residential treatment for did work. I believe that from the little I've gotten to know Sandra, I believe there's a common denominator that is destroying Austin. All right, you guys, brace yourself, Punkette. Save your save your hand, cause I was up when Sandra messaged me. I ended up because I messaged her just to say I want to spread awareness. So I like to make sure that I message the parents that I'm spreading awareness about to make sure it's okay that I cover their story, so that it's not, you know, so it's not exploited, I guess. And that I have accurate facts. And Sandra responded right away, gave me the story. I asked her again this morning, and she said, yes, you could share it. So here we go. So he's doing okay, right? He's coming out of residential. His friend from school was in drama camp and was having a show, and her mother asked if he could go. Awesome. She was aware of Austin's situation. This is the friend's mom, and was more than capable of handling him. He did very awesome. And Austin's 12, y'all, but I'm gonna continue. And they invited him to come back the next day to play. Also knowing that Sandra needed a break, y'all. It's exhausting. In fact, I think I'm probably gonna see if Sandra and I can connect Sandra and Brenda, Kaylee's mom, because their stories are similar in the fact of the um, the autistic spectrum, the naive, almost we can escape anything type. And I just feel like they might be able to help each other. Just rely on, just bent to each other. But she needed a break. Holy cow! I cannot even imagine my yeah. Oh, sorry guys. I just really want to. I want you to understand, what it's like for a mom. And if Britt was here right now, she would tell you. Rebellious, they have him well, allegedly. Um Basically, they took him once before, and yeah. So here we go. During the time he went back over to his friend's house, he got involved. Sorry, somebody was in my back area there, and I realized it was actually myself. Okay. During the time he went back over to, he got a hold of his friend's phone. Well, he kept her distracted. No, rebellious, they're not. He made at least 14 contacts with Taylor on that phone. Rebellious, just so sorry, y'all. I want to make sure Rebellious knows. The first time they did this, well, one of the times they've done this, Rebellious, Austin's mom came to pick Austin up from Taylor's house and they wouldn't let him come out. Taylor basically likes him to call her mama. Okay. So, hey, Barb. Pamela, yeah. I realized you guys, I was like, who is that? And then I was like, oh, it's myself. Wow. Barb, you got to hear this story. And if you will share this out, even not the video, the thing I'm going to post on the community page, Austin is a 12-year-old boy, and we need to get him home. So he made 14 points of contact with Taylor. Austin unplugged all of the cameras at the friend's house and sent a text and told them to honk 3 times when they pulled up. Keeping his friend distracted, he said random things like, I'm going somewhere safe. And so his friend thought nothing of it. She recalled, okay, I'm going to say this without blowing up. She recalled Austin calling someone Mama Bear on the phone. Austin walked outside and they thought he was just going on the porch to get some fresh air as he typically would. When the mother went to follow him, he was just gone. And I want to make sure I reiterate something. This mother that was helping Sandra and this mother that invited him back is more than capable of dealing with Austin. Austin did phenomenal with them the first time. This woman is a good woman. Okay, so this was not her fault. If a residential treatment could not, Sandra said Austin has always been kind of an escape artist. So the mom comes out, her friend's mom, his friend's mom, and she said that his friend said he got into a white SUV with 3 letters on it. She obviously immediately called Sandra. Sandra immediately went to the house and she called the police. They took general information. We asked them to see if this is kind of brace yourself too, because yeah, okay. They asked if they could see if the neighbors had camera footage, but the police were not interested. They didn't and still haven't asked for a recent photo of Austin either. Can we talk about the fact that, again, we are not investing in a kids that we considered runaways? After the police left, Sandra and the friend were able to get a clip of the car from the neighbor's porch cam. So they still went and found a porch cam, and the friend identified it. And several neighbors said they had seen that vehicle driving up and down the road, acting funny and beeping. This was around 6 p.m. The next day, Pamela, I know, Pamela. The next day, I had to call the police department, Sandra did, to find out who was on the case, and it was apparently not assigned. He's 12. You know, I got to calm my voice. It was not assigned until the afternoon of the 18th, and I want to say, Sandra says they used to call him Houdini. Guys, we talked about this, though. We talked about this. Again, Kaylee's situation, autistic kids, 50% of them end up running away. So I want to verify, and I'm almost positive. So this happened, I believe, the 16th or the 17th, and so not until the afternoon of the 18th was his case even assigned to anyone. Sandra had several people she knows and that she doesn't know message confirming he is at Taylor and Tyler's house. but the police haven't been able to do more than knock and ask, and they have denied having anything to do with it. So that's all police can do right now without a warrant. However, the detective said he personally had a conversation with Taylor at her house and believes he has enough information now to move things forward. There are other mothers that have been in this situation with Taylor, and the police did nothing as far as the charges with those cases. Okay, so 4:47, I'm up trying to think about this case. I text Sandra about, so sorry, and I asked about 12:45 this afternoon. This afternoon, y'all. The investigator, Sandra was hoping to get a nice call from the investigator saying, "Yeah, we're going forward with a warrant this morning." I said, "Did they call? Any news?" She said, "No, I called and left a message, but nothing back yet." Okay, she had to leave a message for an investigator to call her back to find. They are rebellious. They're claiming they can't do anything without a warrant. To find her 12-year-old son, who, for the second or third time, has taken this child who she's convinced his parents or his mom isn't a good person and a good mom, who she wants him to call her mama bear. Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me right now? Do you know what somebody like that in a kid? Sorry, Sandra, I don't always yell like this. Just when I get just when I get mad. When I get mad and worried. What a person, and we're not even going to talk about Parkland. I'm going to update my title because we're going to totally focus on Austin right now for this live. Okay, I will, Chris. Chris, I don't know how to post in there, so I might have to get your help on that. But do you know what somebody who is on the autism spectrum, keep in mind, y'all, he is on medication, so he's now off his medication, cold turkey. Do you know what, if you try to fill a kid's head like that, who's on the spectrum, any kid's head, who's 12 years old in formative years with their parents, I mean, he's become obsessed with her to the point of ending up at, okay, so Sandra said, still no callback, to the point of ending up in a McDonald's in the middle of the night with no shoes on. Rebellious, this is even worse. They know each other because Sandra took care of a family member on the street, and she until this family member passed away. And Sandra's daughter and Austin were just friends. You know how kids all play in the neighborhood together. Taylor's family just happened to be over there. Now, I want to tell you guys something. As I'm looking into this last night, trying to find something, that's like, hey, Sandra, they have to act. Here's what she has them. Here's dead set. She has them. I noticed a post from about 5 or 6 months ago where Taylor wouldn't give a baby back. Sandra is not kidding. She did this to another family. I looked. Oh, okay, good, Sandra. Well, I'm glad. I looked, and it's in Lorraine. I don't know how to say it. Lorain. I'm actually, because I think Lana lives close to it, I'm just going to shoot it out to every friend I know in Ohio. And Unique Trauma Obsessed said it's not far from them. Apparently Tyler's a dad to a baby, but apparently they did this with a baby months ago. I don't know that story. I want to get some information on that story, but wouldn't give him back. It's alleged there is some there this is my allegations based on Facebook posts, and this is not from Sandra. This is things I've seen, that there has been some drug usage. Austin is 12 years old, and I'm going to show you his picture again. Austin is 12 years old, on the spectrum. He needs to get home to his medication. He has a woman, and now Tyler whoops, wrong, there we go, who has literally convinced him that she is his mama bear, that he can do anything he wants at their house, and that basically she's the only one that cares about him, and his mom doesn't care at all. I am very concerned because Austin is on the spectrum. Austin is without his medication, and Austin is being mentally abused by those people. And that is coming from me because this is mental abuse of a child. And those people need to be in jail. And Austin needs to come home. There is absolutely, I am 97% sure of my opinion that that's where he's at. Um, but again, oh, that's awesome, unique trauma obsessed. She does rebellious. I want to go back to the one just for anybody coming in. Situation happened with Austin where mom came to pick the kids up. They wouldn't let him out of the house. Austin escaped a residential treatment center who did wonderful things for him to go meet Taylor, who apparently didn't show or something because he ended up in McDonald's with no shoes on in the middle of the night. And now, again, he makes 14 points of contact with her on July 17th. And gets in a white car who, yeah. It is disgusting. He does have some behavioral issues. Obviously, that's not uncommon with kids that are on the spectrum. Um, I am concerned for his safety. I'm concerned for the amount that he is being, I'm not even sure what the word is for it. I guess, in my opinion, for the amount that he's being brainwashed right now. I am at a loss of what is the matter with our system that we can't get a 12-year-old child back without a warrant out of somebody's house that we're quite certain has him. I don't understand that part. I don't understand how a mother of a 12-year-old boy should have to ever leave a message for investigators, and still at 1:48 she left a message this morning, you guys, with the investigator. Yeah, my watch just tried to say, why did you Sandy, he does not, to the best of my knowledge. And Sandra, if you're able to respond to this, does Austin have his own phone? I don't think so, Sandy, because he actually used his friend's phone to make those 14 points of contact with Taylor. And remember, guys, Austin is 12, so his friends are 12. So they're like, what, can anybody that understands law enforcement in here, tell me why you need a warrant to go get a 12-year-old boy out of a house that he's most likely in, and who has already been like taken once from. I i don't i don't i don't understand why she wasn't charged before, why they told her not to press charge. I don't understand this. I understand Austin might have left willingly, but he's not a norm. Okay, let me phrase this. A he's not a typical normal 12-year-old boy. He has a mental illness, just like, I don't even know if mental illness is, he has special needs. Let me say that. He has special needs that make it so that he cannot make a cognitive good decision. Well, he's 12, okay? My 12-year-old doesn't make the best decisions. And every day, in my opinion, every day that he's in their care is just another day that he's being mentally abused. This woman has some serious issues to make a child call her mama bear and say that no one's going to love her like she does. She has some serious, serious issues. Okay, so Sandra confirmed what I thought. No, he does not have a phone. He cannot have a phone because he has used it inappropriately. Okay, yeah, that's what I assumed. Um, it's just, and later on, I'm going to do another live, and we'll talk about Parkland or the Missy Beavers case. One of those, but for this one, I wanted to reshift, and I got to change my title and focus all on Austin because I'm going to show you one more time the picture of Austin and a picture of the individuals that is alleged um, to have him. So he was last seen on the corner of 17th and Washington in Lorain, Ohio. So you also have, oh, okay, wait, let me zoom out because I don't want, this is Taylor Roberts and Tyler Litz, who apparently, allegedly are the ones that have him. The police have talked to Taylor and said that she claims they don't have him. And so that's all they could do as of yesterday because they didn't have a warrant. Sandra was told yesterday that the detectives thought that she had enough to go on. They had enough to go on to do the warrant and go inside. Um, I think so, Sandy. I think so. Based on what a Facebook post of the last person they did this with, well, I guess they've done this with Austin before, but there was a baby, it looks like a few months ago that they did the same thing with, and it was said on, based on what I've seen on Facebook posts, that there is drug use. So allegedly, I would say yes. Sandra did not tell me that, but I would say yes. I do not know that, Rebellious Rose. I would hope so. I would think so. Um, they My fear is if we continue to wait around, or if they continue to wait around, or law enforcement continues to wait around, I'm afraid they'll take off. Because at this point, it sounds like Taylor is pretty much willing to do whatever to have Austin, and Austin is pretty much willing to do anything he can with to be with Taylor. I have not let my brain go to bad things like what we saw with Sarah Gilpin, but the obsession is real. And this case needs some national attention. I want to make sure I have everything correct. And I mean, y'all, several people have come to Sandra and said, yes, he's there. People she knows and people she doesn't know. Um, he's. We also have to remember he is off his medication. I am, Rebellious. I don't know. From what it sounds like, not much, but it sounds like they. I mean, I don't know really what the thought process would be from somebody to think, I'm gonna go pick up that kid. I'll definitely get away with it. Like he's 12. You just stole a kid. My fear is the amount that Austin is willing to go to be with her. I mean, escaping from a residential treatment center to try to meet her and whatnot. I don't know if Taylor gets a rise out of this or what, but it is sick and Austin needs to be brought home. And so I just ask you guys to share this out, share it when I share my stuff on my community post, that his picture, um, I hope with everything in me that they are looking at his they are looking at behind the scenes, that they're actually doing something and we just don't know. And then any second, Sandra will get a call that says Austin has been found. And Austin does have a sibling. He has a sister. My hope is that they will say any minute that they've got a warrant to go into the house. Again, I don't necessarily understand why you need a warrant to go see if a kid's in the house, but I guess you do. And at this point, I mean, charges need to be filed at this point. I mean, this is time number 2 that they've done this with Austin. And to me, every day that they have him is another day they brainwash him. So again, Austin is in Ohio. Lorraine, I still don't say that right. Lauren, Lorain. His mom is Sandra Lauer. I'm probably not saying that right either because I'm terrible. Austin is 5'7", 12 years old, on the spectrum with some behavioral issues. Ran away to this couple, which is Taylor and Tyler Litz, before in the past. And there is significant reason to believe, let me put his picture up just one more time, to believe that they have him yet again. Taylor does, it would seem, have other children. And Austin is off his medication and he needs his medication and he needs to come home and they need to get these 2 people away from him. I mean, this is ridiculous. This is so ridiculous. So I will keep you guys. So I'm going to make this short just because, unfortunately, they do need a warrant to have. Wow, that's crazy, Rebellious. That's crazy. Yeah, it must be it. Okay, thanks, Chris Gideon. Um, just pray for this mama. Like I said, she has been through the fire with Austin. And that's obviously her boy, her baby boy, and um, she has obviously a daughter to care for as well. I'm sad that that he had to leave that facility that was doing good things for him, and I think probably it sounds like he was on the road to better things, as if Taylor was out of the picture. So thank you guys for being here. I'm going to change this live title so people know what it was, and then I'll be back on later, but and hopefully I'll have a better update, and investigators will give her a call back. Again, pray for Sandra. Yep, thanks, Sandy. That they'd get Austin back and then be able to really heal as a family, because they're going to need to really heal. Austin's not going to just come back and have no, tie emotionally because of his mental needs. He's not going to be able to just come back and let that go. So just pray that this family can start to heal and be done with this woman, and that finally something would happen where she has any sort of accountability for this type of behavior. But all right, guys, well, thank you, and I'll get this posted up here on the community post. Oh yeah, Rebellious. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Mom can't just bust. Yep, you're right. You're right. But somebody needs to get them before they skip out. That's my fear. So, all right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Have a good one. I'll be live later on tonight. Thanks, guys.